A group of individuals approached a young man named Oren Dura, an enchanter, and it was evident from their demeanor that the trio didn't hold him in high regard. Oren, sensing their purpose, assumed they were here to discuss their upcoming expedition. As he sat at the table, amidst his tasks related to the expedition, he attempted to convey his involvement. But before he could finish, the trio haughtily informed him of his expulsion from the party, effective immediately. Oliver Cardiff, a man bearing the title of Sword Saint, delivered this news with gravity, emphasizing the severity of the situation. Oren, taken aback, demanded an explanation for their behavior, reminding them of their shared history as childhood friends and comrades. However, Oliver asserted that their past bond was precisely why Oren had been initially included in the party. They hailed from the same village, with a directness bordering on cruelty. Oliver bluntly stated that Oren simply wasn't skilled enough for their current endeavors. Stunned by this revelation, Oren stood speechless, his world crumbling around him as his childhood friend instructed him to depart without causing a scene. Delving into their shared past, it became clear that 8 years ago, at the tender age of 10, Oren and Oliver had formed a renowned party, dubbed the Heroes' Party by the masses. They achieved feats others could only dream of, such as reaching the 94th level of the treacherous Southern Great Labyrinth, becoming the first to do so. Their party's prowess elevated them to S-rank status within a few short years. In the present, Oren challenged the accusations, questioning why his skills were being singled out. He implored Oliver to consider the implications of turning on each other, but Oliver cut him off once more, highlighting the party's oversight regarding the importance of a support magic user like Oren. It wasn't until a recent dragon raid that they recognized his true value, albeit too late. Adding insult to injury, Oliver declared that Oren's enchanting abilities paled in comparison to other S-class enchanters. As anger simmered within Oren, he reminded his former comrades that his original role was that of a swordsman, hence his perceived inadequacies. Before he could propose the idea of developing original magic, Derek Mosley, the defender of the group, silenced him, accusing Oren of transitioning to an enchanter due to his shortcomings as a swordsman. With aggression, Derek asserted that Oren's deficiencies persisted in his new role, leaving him with no grounds for complaint. Despite the onslaught of criticism, Oren maintained his composure, pointing out the party's glaring lack of an enchanter, which had led to his inclusion. He confidently asserted that his weaknesses were offset by his strengths, refusing to allow their betrayal to shake his resolve. Oren possessed his own unique set of magic spells, crucial for their survival deep within the labyrinths. However, to his dismay, Oliver brushed aside his contributions, declaring the party's readiness to move forward without him. They claimed to have already secured a replacement enchanter, leaving Oren in a state of disbelief. As darkness clouded his vision, he stood speechless, grappling with the betrayal of comrades he had stood by through thick and thin. Feeling like an unwanted presence, Oren bid his farewell without a hint of shame. Wild, a sorcerer within the party, added insult to injury, ridiculing Oren for his perceived shortcomings and labeling him as a master of none. With a heavy heart, Oren reflected on his unwavering dedication to the party, only to realize it had been undervalued all along. As he walked away for the last time, he questioned his involvement with such callous companions. The following day, Oren woke up late, the events of yesterday weighing heavily on his mind. Despite the betrayal, he resolved to move forward, contemplating his options for survival, whether continuing his labyrinth explorations, seeking stable employment elsewhere, or risking it all by opening a shop. Oren ultimately chose to stick to what he knew best. Wealth was not his primary goal. His true passion lay in exploration, independent of Oliver's presence. Returning to his roots as a swordsman, Oren set his sights on a nearby labyrinth recently discovered. Upon entering, he was warned of its dangers, but remained undeterred. His determination caught the attention of the guild staff, who were surprised by his high level and offered their apologies for their earlier behavior. Encountering a horned rabbit on the first floor, Oren saw it as an opportunity to hone his skills. With each slash of his blade, he gained confidence, pushing deeper into the labyrinth. As he descended to the third floor, Oren faced increasingly intelligent demons, but his resolve remained unshaken. Step by step, he continued his training, undeterred by the challenges ahead. Oren, sensing the need for versatility, decides to incorporate his support magic into his combat repertoire. Support magic typically utilized for enhancing one's physical attributes or weapon effectiveness, proves invaluable in battle. However, its effects are not everlasting, and Orin's enhancements last a mere 180 seconds. With time working against him, he faces the demons on the 7th floor, constantly battling against the clock. Discovering a newfound fighting style that seamlessly blends swordsmanship and enchantment, Orin embraces a fresh determination. He vows to prove himself, striving to become the epitome of versatility and strength, shedding the label of master of none once and for all. With each encounter, he honors his skills, determined to evolve into the strongest jack of all trades imaginable. As Orin saves his progress at the transfer crystal, he overhears a nearby party embroiled in a heated argument. Their dispute echoes his own past betrayal, triggering a surge of empathy and anger within him. Confronting them, Orin condemns their cowardice and selfishness, refusing to tolerate such behavior. When he learns of a helpless girl left behind as bait, memories of his own abandonment fuel his resolve. Without hesitation, Orin confronts the party, demanding the girl's whereabouts. With sweat beading on their brows, they reluctantly reveal her location. In a flash, Orin disappears into the labyrinth, determined to right the wrongs of those who abandoned their comrades. Meanwhile, the girl struggles to fend off the encroaching monsters desperately clinging to her barrier magic. Her prayers are answered as Orin arrives, unleashing his formidable skills to repel the threats. With unwavering determination, he assures her safety, urging her to focus on maintaining her barrier while he handles the rest. Amidst the chaos, the girl marvels at Orin's prowess, unable to discern whether he is a magician or a swordsman. With a blend of magic and skill, Orin emerges as her savior, embodying the ideals of bravery and loyalty that he believes true adventurers should uphold. Orin astounds Sophia with his utilization of support magic to enhance his swordsmanship, revealing a side of combat she hadn't considered before. Assessing the threat posed by the surrounding orcs, Orin confidently dispatches them with ease, leaving Sophia in awe of his prowess. As he tends to her injuries with healing magic, Sophia's gratitude overflows, her fear from being abandoned by her allies melting away in Orin's presence. Exiting the dungeon together, Sophia introduces herself as Sophia Claude, a name that rings familiar to Orin. The emblem on Orin's shirt triggers recognition, hinting at a connection between them. Grateful for Orin's assistance, Sophia insists on treating him to dinner to express her thanks. Despite initial hesitation, Orin agrees, offering to recommend restaurants if she hasn't already decided on a place. Sophia's affiliation with the Silver Rabbit of the Night Sky, a renowned explorer clan, sheds light on her background. These clans serve as hubs for processing and selling dungeon items, with Sophia's clan boasting the largest number of explorers. Orin puzzles over Sophia's decision to join a disparate party despite her clan's influence, a question that remains unanswered for now. At the clan's restaurant, Orin encounters Sophia's older sister, Salma Claude, the leader of an S-rank party renowned for both her beauty and her prowess as an enchanter. It becomes clear that Salma's comparison of Orin's enchanting skills to hers played a pivotal role in his expulsion from Oliver's party. Salma's demeanor towards Orin suggests a misunderstanding, perhaps fueled by suspicions regarding his intentions towards her sister. Sophia swiftly defends Orin, only to draw criticism for her solo dungeon venture. With tensions rising, Orin realizes the complexity of Sophia's situation and requests to be seated, mindful of the attention their conversation attracts. As Sophia queries Salma about her familiarity with Orin, Salma's response sheds light on their previous encounter during a collaborative subjugation mission. Orin navigates the delicate social dynamics, sensing the need to clarify misconceptions and earn the trust of Sophia's clan. Despite the misunderstandings, he remains determined to forge a genuine connection with Sophia and her sister, navigating the complexities of their intertwined lives with grace and determination. Orin's revelation that he's no longer part of the hero's party shocks Sophia, prompting her to become more formal and distant. She refuses to accept Orin's simple explanation of leaving the party with Oliver's consent. Selma intervenes, expressing her desire for Orin to join them on a collaborative exploration mission in 2 days' time. Selma outlines the ambitious plan for the Silver Rabbit of the Night Sky clan to send rookie explorers, accompanied by an A-rank explorer, to climb to the 51st floor of the southern dungeon within 3 days. a feat that typically takes months to achieve. Despite the risk, Selma believes it's feasible if they follow the shortest path. Orin astutely infers that there might be ulterior motives behind the sponsor's insistence on such a dangerous plan, suggesting that bypassing boss flaws could strengthen the clan overall. Impressed by Orin's insight, Selma reveals crucial details about the boss battles and the strategy to minimize risks for rookie explorers. Orin questions why she's divulging such sensitive information to him, to which Selma admits her high regard for him based on their previous collaboration. Although hesitant due to his plans, Orin ultimately agrees to participate, stipulating that he'll join as a swordsman rather than an enchanter. Despite his stubbornness, Sophia's pleading eyes sway him, and he relents, setting a condition for his participation. After dinner, Orin provides money for the meal, leaving Sophia impressed by his kindness and strength. Despite their banter, Selma reminds Sophia of her own strengths and advises her to focus on dealing with the party that abandoned her. As they arrive at the clan headquarters, Selma contemplates her approach towards the party's abandonment of Sophia, recognizing the need for resolution. Orin's involvement in their affairs marks the beginning of a new chapter, with Sophia's feelings towards him remaining uncertain, but her sister's support reassuring her. Orin's decision to join the collaborative exploration prompts Sophia to report to Captain Vince Breyer, highlighting Orin's departure from the hero's party. Vince acknowledges Orin's significance to the party's combat prowess, praising his exceptional magical abilities and combat assessment skills. However, he expresses concern over the clan's downward trajectory, possibly indicating underlying issues with. Meanwhile, Orin encounters someone dear to him, allowing him to release pent-up emotions and find solace. In a dream, he reminisces about his past with Oliver, recalling the burden of expectations and the presence of another girl named Shoyon, whose significance eludes him upon waking. As Orin steps into the southern dungeons, he's greeted by Sophia and Selma, their interactions hinting at underlying tensions and unspoken feelings. Sophia's flushed cheeks and Selma's teasing remarks add to the intrigue surrounding their dynamic, leaving Orin feeling like an outsider amidst their playful banter. As they discuss living arrangements and Orin's outsider status, Sophia's curiosity sparks further speculation about their relationship. Orin's reluctance to intrude on their dynamic prompts Selma to suggest he accompany her, easing the tension among the rookies. During a meeting with Captain Vince, Orin receives details about the exploration, spanning 3 days and venturing into the Great Southern Dungeon. As they progress through the floors, camping outside will be minimized, with 10 rookie parties joining the expedition, each led by a client leader responsible for 2 parties, alongside 5 guides. Orin's involvement in the expedition promises challenges and opportunities for growth, both personally and within the context of the clan's future. As the journey unfolds, Orin navigates the complexities of relationships and responsibilities, forging his path amidst uncertainty and camaraderie. As Orin and Selma oversee the collaborative exploration, Orin senses that something significant is brewing at the Silver Rabbit of the Night Sky headquarters. The battle against monsters will alternate between the 2 parties, with guide leaders handling unexpected events. While discussing the plan, Orin questions if 5 guide leaders are sufficient, suggesting involving more parties to reduce risks. Selma explains that while risks aid in the rookie's growth, Orin feels she's not sharing the full plan with him, but agrees to cooperate nonetheless. The next day, Orin notes Captain Vince's silence, harboring doubts about the mission. As he greets the figures before him, he introduces himself as a frontline attacker and checks their roles. The team consists of 2 defenders, Slimane and Arnold, and a healer named Kathy. Orin senses oddities in their composition, but expresses trust in them, agreeing to guide and greet the rookies for the next 4 days. As the ascent to the 51st floor begins, Season reminds them of the plan. She introduces Orin as their ace, revealing his impressive accomplishment of reaching the 94th floor. Orin's sudden unveiling surprises him, and he listens as Season narrates his history with the hero's party, making him a dungeon expert. The crowd reacts with awe and murmur, prompting a flurry of questions. Orin, skeptical of the excessive attention, is reassured by Season's confidence in his abilities. A confident voice from the crowd questions if Orin's newfound assurance could propel them to the 51st floor. The agreement resonates, and Season proclaims the expedition's commencement amid thunderous cheers. As they assemble, Orin reassures the rookies, promising talents, and prepares to fulfill his responsibility over the 9th and 10th squadrons. Despite lingering doubts, Orin embraces his role in guiding the rookies and propelling the expedition forward. Orin reflects on his capability to guide the potentials in the 10th squad, feeling humbled by their respect and trust in him. He muses about the warm reception, perhaps a reward for his history with the hero's party. As Sophia from the 10th squad draws his focus, Orin gathers their names and roles, ensuring unity within the squad. Acknowledging the rarity of their 3-person squad configuration, Orin understands the heightened danger, especially with rookies. However, doubts surface when a voice interjects, expressing skepticism about their seemingly brash attitude. Orin is taken aback by the skepticism, but as they stand united, worries for the future echo in his mind. As they gather, Orin prompts introductions one by one. Logan Hayward, the commander of the 10th Squadron, exudes unwavering confidence in his enchanter position, aspiring to outshine Salma. Orin raises an internal brow at Logan's audacity before Coraline in Glow, the defender, steps up. Despite wearing light armor, Coraline explains her evasion-focused strategy for engaging magical creatures up close. Next, Sophia Claude, possessing both attacker and magician roles, surprises Orin with her simple introduction, easing his initial apprehensions. Amidst the diverse personalities, Orin begins to re-evaluate the mission's complexity, suspecting the challenges ahead may be more formidable than anticipated. As the collaborative exploration commences, the rookies grow quieter as they enter the dungeon. Coraline questions why a former member of the hero's party is joining their endeavor, displaying a judgmental attitude. Orin clarifies his departure from the hero's party and their cautiousness regarding the activities of the Silver Rabbit of the Night Sky Clan. Despite Caroline's probing about his departure, Orin dismisses it, emphasizing his focus on the current mission. As tensions simmer among the group, Orin navigates the complexities of their dynamics, preparing for the challenges ahead while adjusting his perceptions of the mission and his role within it. In Logan's guidance and Coraline's recklessness, despite these challenges, Orin remains optimistic about their potential growth and the success of their mission. As they encounter dangerous wolves, Orin observes the effectiveness of their traps designed to activate based on time. Recognizing the skill required to set up such traps, Orin acknowledges their success in diverting the wolves without engaging in pointless combat. He estimates their progress, surprising Coraline with their ahead-of-schedule pace, noting their effective teamwork. Reflecting on his squad's strengths and weaknesses, Orin sees potential in Logan's enchanter skills, but recognizes the need for improvement in his guidance. He advises Coraline on her tendency for reckless charging and her choice of weaponry, believing it doesn't align well with her team skills. Despite Sophia's hesitation, Orin sees her skills surpassing rookie standards, with room for growth through more interaction with her team. As the collaborative subjugation halts for the day, Orin reflects on Selma's underestimated influence and directs the squad to move forward to the 21st floor. Selma advises card registration for the floor, and as they conclude for the day, they affirm their agreement. Orin acknowledges Selma's efforts, highlighting room for improvement in the 9th Squadron and praising the excellence of the 10th Squadron. Despite challenges in coordination, Orin remains hopeful for their future success. Caroline's chuckles, musing that she might be third in line, but she had come a long way from her past self, exchanged a final playful banter with her companions before they bid each other good night. Finally, they could get some much-needed rest as the sun rose on the following day. Orin's apprehensions proved valid as he perused a newspaper. The front page revealed the replacement of the Euro's party enchanter, whose expulsion was now public knowledge. Oliver, the leader of the hero's party, asserted that Orin's subpar enchanting skills were the primary reason for the replacement. Oliver confessed they were unaware of Orin's limited capabilities in this area. Despite this, the party reached the unprecedented 94th dungeon floor. Philly Carpenter, a recent addition known as one of the finest enchanters on the continent, brought newfound hope to the hero's party. Orin, however, bore disappointment, hoping that news of Philly's arrival wouldn't emerge until after their collaborative mission. He was skeptical of the hero's party and worried about the potential shift in the rookie's perception, especially Logan from the 10th Squadron. He doubted if Logan's pride would allow him to follow instructions after learning of this development. Orin believed not all of the rookies would read the article, but for those who did, their view of him could change significantly. He even questioned himself, resigned to the situation. As he headed towards the meeting point, a familiar voice called his name. Runa, a healer in the hero's party, remarked on the time that had passed since their last meeting 4 days ago. Orin acknowledged this but revealed that while she was part of the party, Rene was the only one who treated him kind. Her absence during his expulsion left him with lingering regrets. Rena asked him to reconsider returning to the party, emphasizing their need for his skills. Orin sensed her high regard for him and questioned whether this was what the entire party wanted. Rena clarified that her plea was personal and that she would do her best to persuade everyone if Orin agreed. Orin's face grew serious as he questioned the sincerity of Runa's request, but she insisted she hadn't read the article, causing this rift. She recalled their promise to conquer the Great Dungeon together, including Oliver, yet it was Oliver who led to her departure. She believed that promise had lost its meaning, a sentiment Orin quietly absorbed. Hopefully, they trusted each other more than this. He realized that prolonging the situation would only bring trouble. He apologized and walked away, leaving Rune disheartened. Orin acknowledged that even if he desired to continue and uphold the promise, he couldn't return. There was no place for him anymore. The sadness was evident on his face as he accepted that it was all too late and everything had changed since that fateful day. Amidst the buzz of hushed conversations and murmurs, the aftermath of an article had taken hold of the crowd's attention. Orin found himself amidst the chatter, wondering how many would lose faith in him after reading about his expulsion. The article claimed that Enchanter Endura wanted A. In the midst of the Italian dialogue swirling around, a lingering question hung in the air: had Aron truly been ousted due to his perceived lack of skill? He greeted everyone with a simple good morning, a stark contrast to the previous day's excitement he had fueled. Understandably, confusion hung in the air. Poor guy, he's so nervous now, Selma chimed in with an apologetic tone, though she had nothing to apologize for. She's such a sweetheart, Orin thought. Selma acknowledged that if Orin's panic persisted, their collaborative exploration might crumble. Despite his morale-boosting efforts, the situation now demanded caution. Selma's unnecessary apology stemmed from her belief in supporting him despite her lack of involvement. Orin brushed aside her concern, asserting that he would eventually overcome this hurdle. He held himself responsible for not revealing the truth earlier, a choice that had inadvertently caused problems for Selma. He assured her that he would still contribute to the exploration's success, allowing her to focus on her usual tasks. She agreed, placing her trust in his words. As they exchanged assurances, the atmosphere lightened. Squad 9 and 10 meetings were on the horizon, and greetings were exchanged with a renewed sense of camaraderie. The group assembled, and Orin decided it was time to confess. The article held mostly true. He had been removed from the party due to perceived inadequacy. At least he's true to his companion. He expressed regret for not revealing this sooner. Just then, Sophia stepped forward, her voice unwavering. She vouched for Orin's strength, recounting his swift defeat of countless orcs. Looks like somebody has a crush on somebody else, Orin thought, amused. She firmly believed his abilities were far from lacking. Orin's gratitude shone through, thankful for her staunch support. He explained further, clarifying that his strength lay not in traditional heroic abilities, but in his mastery of the sword. Orin admitted his capacity to transport them to the 51st floor of the dungeon. Although he was no longer part of the hero's party, he pledged his dedication to safeguarding the group as Arandura. That's a good hero right there, Orin mused. His plea mirrored the previous day's call to action, urging them to give their all as they had done before. As they journeyed into the depths of the Yasu Duran dungeon's 3rd floor, camaraderie and determination bloomed. In-squad members battled monsters valiantly. Orin's heart swelled with a sense of accomplishment as trust was rebuilt. Leading by example, he offered guidance, grateful that the heavy tension had lifted. The Nin squad had shown that theories alone wouldn't suffice. They needed trust to succeed, hoping nothing stupid happens to break their trust. In the end, the unspoken tension of the morning gave way to a united front. Through trials and challenges, Orin's journey continued with newfound determination, the support of his peers propelling him forward, a presence of. The air was thick with tension as malevolent creatures loomed ahead, prompting a simple question from their leader. Is the 10th squad ready? The unanimous chorus of yes resonated with a sense of unyielding determination. Always in motion, the squad advanced. With a quick nod to Coraline, their leader instructed her to draw the goblins' attention. Meanwhile, Logan stepped in, wielding his support magic to reinforce her efforts, while Sophia undertook the task of subduing the orcs lurking at the rear. It was Logan's magical prowess that intrigued Aron the most. The ability to cast 3 support spells at once defied his rookie status. Logan's skill was impressive, yet Coraline's charge remained as bold. Her headlong rush seemed to promise a smooth confrontation. However, the true challenge arose with Sophia, who still bore the scars of the orc attack from days before. Just as Aron anticipated, the trauma had left her frozen, trapped in the clutches of fear. Gently, he tried to coax her out of this internal tempest. "Calm yourself," he implored, reminding her of the camaraderie they now shared. The squad was her safety net: Coraline, Logan, and himself. She was not alone anymore, and this realization empowered her. Aron's encouragement sparked fire within Sophia. No longer bound by the shadows of her past abandonment, she rallied her strength, utilizing advanced magic. Her unleashed power was nothing short of inspiring. The explosive force created a whirlwind of chaos, surprising even Aron. It was a testament to her growth and resilience. Coraline's jubilant cheer and their ensuing embrace mirrored the pride and relief felt by the entire team. Sophia's accomplishment was met with widespread appreciation. The ensuing battle was arduous, testing their resolve, yet, against the odds, they reached their destination, the 36th floor. Selma, the leader, congratulated the team for their success, offering praise for their accomplishments. Tomorrow marked the final day of their expedition, and Selma wisely advised everyone to rest and recharge, ensuring they were at their best for the finale. As the group dispersed, Aron found himself intercepted by Bernard and Anom, guides of the night sky. They extended a rare invitation to dinner. Grateful, Aron realized that they hadn't judged him based on a questionable article. The gratitude flowed as he accepted their offer. As they spoke, the focus shifted to Sophia. They inquired if she knew Aron, to which he confirmed their recent acquaintance. Her tale spilled forth, how Aron rescued her just 3 days prior in the depths of the dungeon. The conversation turned towards the dangerous circumstances of their meeting, shedding light on the specifics of that fateful encounter. Today's trials revealed the squad's resilience and growing bonds. As they prepared for their final push, camaraderie became their most potent weapon, strengthening their unity with each step forward. Though fraught with challenges, each moment was now infused with a shared purpose that propelled them towards their ultimate goal. Hoping no one backed out at this stage, Logan asked Sophia if she could tell him more about Aron back when he saved her, her eyes sparkling with excitement. With curiosity burning in his eyes, Logan urged Sophia to narrate every detail she could recall from when Aron saved her. Sophia, initially confused by Logan's request for detail, soon understood. He wanted to know about Aron's magic type and fighting style. As she began recounting, Sophia's expression revealed the fear that had consumed her during the ordeal. She struggled to remember specifics, mentioning only a spell that created a powerful wind pressure, which she thought was called Shockwave. However, Logan thirsted for more. Sophia then recalled Aron using support magic to enhance his sword, which widened Logan's eyes in astonishment. He pressed for further details, surprised by the revelation of Aron's proficiency with a sword. Sophia added that Aron had mentioned converting into a swordsman after leaving the hero's party, a revelation that shocked Logan even more. It contradicted his recent understanding of Aron's role as an enchanter. Logan's expectations of Aron had been shattered when he learned of his expulsion from the party, leading to disappointment. Throughout the expedition, Logan had followed Aron's instructions dutifully due to his admiration for him. He reminisced about the first battle, which had seemed mundane until the encounter with the orc. The realization that Aron could dampen the orc's movements with support magic was a turning point for Logan's perception of him. He marveled at Aron's ability to cast debuffs, a feat even renowned enchanters like Selma found challenging. Logan could only describe Aron as amazing. Reflecting on their battles, Logan recognized the vast difference between Aron's abilities and his own. Despite being a frontline attacker, Aron's prowess surpassed expectations, effortlessly dispatching numerous orcs. Sophia and the rest of the squad admired him greatly, aspiring to emulate his skills. Logan pondered why Aron had chosen to transition into a frontline role, considering his remarkable abilities as an enchanter. Yet, Aron's excellence remained undeniable, leaving Logan in awe of his strength and versatility. In a moment of humility, Logan lowered his head and commented that while he had been called a prodigy by some, a genuine prodigy could only be someone like Auron. He narrowed his eyes, promising not to give up, his determination only growing stronger. He knew he had to succeed as an explorer, no matter the cost, even if it meant surpassing Auron by any means necessary. His squad members noticed his intense expression and called him out, but he brushed it off, claiming he was just getting fired up for tomorrow's exploration. Meanwhile, at one of the restaurants affiliated with the Silver Rabbits of the Night Sky, the squad got to know Auron better. Bernard, the squad's guide leader, urged everyone to drink heavily, but Auron reminded them of their upcoming exploration. Slim, another guide, took Auron's side, emphasizing their duties to instruct the rookies. Realizing Auron's straightforward nature, Bernard agreed to limit the drinking to midnight. Auron remarked on the squad's apparent privilege, given their frequent visits to expensive restaurants, but Bernard explained that their pay was mediocre compared to the heroes' party. Despite their perilous job, they aimed to enjoy as much good food as possible. Someone asked Auron if he had lived luxuriously before, back when he was with the heroes' party. Auron explained that his administrative duties left little time for such luxuries. Curious about his relationship with his previous party members, Bernard asked if they were still close. Auron acknowledged the rumor of discord within the heroes' party, expressing irritation at the article's mention. He noted that each member had different interests, leading to private free time and rare shared meals. The squad was surprised by Auron's openness about his ex-party. They questioned his role as an enchanter despite claiming to be a frontline attacker, and Auron explained that he supported magic users during collaborative explorations but had transitioned into a swordsman. When asked about his reasons for the change, Auron recounted his admiration for swordsmanship instilled by his grandfather, a former explorer who had protected their village with a single blow from his sword. If Auron loved swordsmanship so much, why did he agree to be an enchanter for the heroes' party? Auron revealed that Salma's evaluation highlighted the necessity of an enchanter for venturing into lower dungeon floors. Given his versatility, the responsibility naturally fell on him. Despite leading the party to the 94th floor, Auron admitted that converting had been a mistake, driven by a sense of duty. As Auron reflected on his past decisions, he realized he might have been too harsh on himself. Little did anyone know, the heroes' party would never reach the 94th floor again. When asked about his ideal swordsman, Auron mentioned admiring someone who could single-handedly clear the deepest dungeon floors. Meanwhile, Sophia contemplated whether to ask Auron to stay after the exploration was over. She admitted she'd be deeply saddened by their potential separation. The day for the guidance quest from the Night Sky Silver Rabbit, requested by the Tenon clan, had finally arrived. Auron hoped everything would proceed smoothly. Overhearing conversations about a new adventure party forming, Auron wondered if it was the one on his mind. The dungeon had 92 floors, and their squad would likely only reach the 3rd floor today. It seemed the purpose of the day was to confirm the new party's formation. Auron felt a pang of surprise at the speed with which his ex-party was moving forward with new members. It was almost as if he'd been slapped across the face. Despite initially overthinking the situation, Auron shook it off, telling himself it didn't matter anymore. 2 days prior, at the heroes' party's residence, they recruited a new member named Philly Carpenter in the presence of Defender Derek and Magician Anil. The hero party's leader, Sword St. Oliver, introduced himself. Philly, an enchanter, compared her skills to Auron's, noting the disparity. The conversation shifted to Auron's management of the party's finances. Philly was shocked by the luxurious expenditures listed in the ledger. Derek accused Auron of being secretive with the party's funds, suggesting it was a mistake to trust him with financial management. Oliver speculated that Auron had hidden intentions for the money, leading to his expulsion. Philly pointed out the necessity of proper budgeting for expeditions and rent. The party healer, Runa, burst into the room in a panic upon seeing Philly. Uninformed about Auron's situation, she disagreed with the decision to expel him. Oliver, assuming she had feelings for Auron, allowed her to voice her concerns in front of Philly. With a troubled expression, Runa questioned why Auron was joining the Night Sky Silver Rabbits for a dungeon exploration. Her inquiry left Oliver speechless, his laid-back demeanor evaporating as sweat trickled down his forehead. As Oliver imagined his old friend joining their rival party, Only 3 days after being expelled, he doubted Oren's courage and skills to have joined such a prominent group. The others shouted and raged, unable to fathom Oren's audacity to think he could perform at NS rank level. Runa demanded to know what had happened in her absence, but Anal blurted out that Oren had left the party. Runa was stunned, assuming Oren had given up on them, until Derek corrected her, revealing they were the ones who had abandoned Oren by expelling him. Runa's anger flared at the decision being made without her consent, declaring their failure inevitable without Oren, whom she held in high regard. Oliver couldn't understand her attachment to Oren and resignedly announced they would hold party tryouts on the dungeon's 92nd floor. Runa protested, believing it would be suicide without Oren, and demanded tryouts on easier levels, her frustration evident. The atmosphere grew tense, with Rena ignoring Philly's greetings, still upset about Oren's departure. Runa stormed out of the room, leaving Philly feeling dejected for not being able to connect with them. However, she concealed her true feelings, harboring ulterior motives. During the tryouts the next day, Oliver noticed Philly's buffs were dissipating too quickly, leaving their bodies heavy. He remembered this never happening with Oren and speculated that Philly might be struggling due to the sudden jump to the 92nd floor. When he asked her to report beast attacks from blind spots, Philly refused, claiming using support magic alone was overwhelming for her, let alone being a navigator as well. As the situation dawned on Oliver, he observed Anal spells were weak, unable to harm the monsters. Frustrated, he realized his own powers had weakened, but nobody understood why. Runa remained calm, annoyingly aware of the reason behind their weakness. Before she could reveal it, a noise interrupted them from above. Oliver looked up, feeling a chill run down his spine as a black dragon appeared before them, its intent to kill unmistakable. With hope draining from his body, Oliver knew they couldn't clear the 92nd floor without Oren. It was a suicide mission after all. The black dragon's scales rendered magical and physical attacks futile, its strength and roars inducing terror even in the mightiest explorers. As it approached, Oliver wondered what in the world a black dragon. In the Great Southern Maze, bosses make their presence known every 10 levels up to level 90. While these bosses are powerful, they typically stay within their designated areas, and there hasn't been an incident where one ventured outside its boundaries. The black dragon they now faced was the boss of the 92nd floor, an enemy they had defeated when Oren was still with the party. Currently, they found themselves outside the boss area, leaving Oliver shocked by the dragon's unexpected appearance. The dragon's landing generated powerful shockwaves, sending Oliver's squad flying through the air like helpless flies. Derek suffered immense damage, prompting accusations towards Philly for failing to cast a buff. However, Philly remained frozen, gripped by fear. Oliver, realizing her condition, shook her to consciousness, asking if she could still move. He commanded her to provide a buff while he prepared to confront the dragon alone. Confident in his abilities, Oliver activated his supernatural power with a magic called Magic Convergence, infusing his sword with golden light. Runa explained that Oliver's supernatural power was beyond human capabilities, allowing him to amass and focus magical energy to unprecedented levels. With a strike known as Heaven's Slash, Oliver aimed to sever the dragon's wings to hinder its pursuit. However, to his dismay, the attack failed to leave a scratch. The dragon retaliated, sending Oliver crashing into the ground, stunned and defeated. Witnessing their leader's helplessness shocked the entire party, covered in dirt and wounds. Despite the dire situation, Oliver refused to concede defeat, though Runa, enraged by Oliver's lack of decisive action, demanded he take charge as the leader. With limited options, she suggested using the Capricus door. Oliver, shaken and afraid, struggled to formulate a plan, prompting Runa to remind him of his responsibilities. With no other choice, they prepared to use the Capricus door as a last resort. The Capricus door, a mysterious artifact, forcibly connects spaces within the dungeon, allowing instantaneous movement between previously visited locations. However, its use is limited to the dungeon, and the destination is random, restricted to boss areas. Runa reminds the team that they'll face another boss immediately after using it, though it's preferable to facing the powerful black dragon. Oliver, the leader, agrees to use the Capricus door, anticipating the space distortion it will create. As he prepares to activate it, the black dragon's tail strikes, momentarily halting their movement. Happiness Oliver wonders at the dragon's unexpected strength, but is surprised when it unexpectedly gets teleported into the portal. This unforeseen twist leaves them relieved yet burdened, knowing someone else will face the dragon's wrath. Outside the dungeon, Runa persuades them to recruit Oren back, recognizing his crucial role in their past successes. Meanwhile, Orin and his party reach the 36th floor, marking the final day of their exploration, with the goal of reaching floors 36 to 50 before using the transfer crystal to return home. Their journey nears its end, though their feelings about it remain unclear. During their planning session, it's decided that leaders will tackle the demonic beast while the whole team will confront bosses together. Orin senses a foreboding atmosphere in the maze, but resolves to remain optimistic. Turning to Caroline, he offers advice on defensive play, though she staunchly prefers fighting on the front lines, prioritizing individual prowess over teamwork. Orin mentions Albert, a significant figure in Caroline's clan who perished in battle against the Black Dragon. Despite the clan's diminished strength, Caroline remains undeterred, viewing Albert's sacrifice as upholding their legacy. Orin realizes his influence may be limited but remains hopeful as they face the challenges ahead. Orin, sensing Caroline's positive response, smiles as he acknowledges her determination. However, their conversation is interrupted by Caroline seeking Orin's advice on how to become stronger. Orin understands the delicate balance needed to provide guidance without discouraging her. He prompts Sophia to explain sorcery, impressed by her knowledge and intelligence, though he wonders if delving deeper might confuse her. Sophia's confident responses reassure him of her capabilities. Orin promises to teach Sophia the necessary skills and techniques to enhance her abilities, earning her gratitude. As they journey to the 40th floor of the maze, they discuss parallel construction, a technique essential for advanced magicians. Orin explains its importance and assures Sophia that with practice, anyone can master it. He elaborates on the levels of offensive magic, highlighting the significance of advanced special grade magic and how parallel construction can aid in challenging situations. Sophia eagerly commits to mastering parallel construction, determined to excel under Orin's guidance. Though Orin suggests seeking instruction from veteran clan members or Selma, Sophia insists on Orin as her teacher, revealing her fondness for Orin agrees, contingent on Selma's approval, acknowledging their initial unfamiliarity. As they reach their destination, their bond strengthens, paving the way for Sophia's growth under Orin's mentorship.